Hello and welcome everybody. So we have just beaten Manchester City 1-0, and honestly there's not that much to say about this game in terms of the actual match, because obviously it was a kind of a mixed match, as friendlies usually are. First half you play with your regular starters and second half you don't, whereas with Manchester City it was kind of the opposite. They first started with like they're not regular starters, and then in the second half they played with their regular starters. But overall, there obviously were a few key standout players, but I don't want to really talk about like the established players that much, like like the Ribery, like Alaba, like Lam, players that have been really, really good, but that are already in the first team. I don't really want to talk about them in the friendlies. I really want to focus on like the youth players, and I think there were two youth players that really stood out to me. In the first. No, there were two youth players that really stood out to me. One for the first half, one for the second half. But I think there were a few others that were really solid as well. Now the two youth players that really stood out to me in the first half was Green. That for me, he was a stand-up player. Although he didn't score, he was always in a position. So for me, that is very important. That if you're in the right positions, at least you get a chance to score. And I think if he improves on his if he improves being more clinical, I think that will really help him in the future, because he is at the right position. And he's got the pace as well. He's at the right position. He has a bit of speed, so he'd be a different alternative to Lewandowski, for example. All he has to work on is his finishing, because there was one chance in the first half, especially where it was like one-on-one with the keeper against Caballero, and instead of just looking up, seeing that the keeper was too far to the keeper's left, he just shot. He just shot to the left, and obviously the keeper was there already in that position, so it didn't go in. If he just opened, if he just looked at the keeper a little and was like, okay, you know what, you're so far on the left, I could just slot it in the right easily. If he had just done that, then we would have scored. But this is the second stand-up player, and I think that's kind of guaranteed. That's kind of already, the second stand-up player, I think, is kind of familiar with all of you guys, because I am a huge fan of him, and that is Dorsch. Now, Dorsch, for me, he was, pretty solid. He was very solid in midfield. He was, controlling a lot. He was getting the ball. He was blocking everything. He had very good control of the ball. He had very good passing of the ball, and it's just the kind of play that you expect from him. He is our standout player in the youth team, and it's just nice seeing him play a little. I think that I'm hoping that he's gonna get a start in the team, but the chances that it's not that likely, just because we have such a huge midfield already. But like I said, I'm hoping that he's gonna get a chance in the first team this season, because I do think that he's probably our best young talent that we have, and ultimately I think that he should get a few minutes here and there. But that's just my fault, still, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, you have to look at Benko as well, who I thought had pretty good moments as well, but they were only moments. They weren't anything more than that, and I think ultimately you'll have to work on that. Make those moments into actually a long-lasting thing. And if he can do that, then I think that he might actually be an alternative, and that's coming from someone who doesn't really rate Benko that much. But I thought that. But I thought that his vision was pretty good, and I thought that ultimately, you could tell that he does have potential. He does have potential, and now he just has to unlock it, basically. But that's just what I think, though, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, the goal came from I'm probably gonna butcher that name so bad. Öztürk. Which was kind of a funny goal, because obviously first of it bounced off the referee, and then it bounced off Cliche, so it's kind of like, do you really count that still as a goal? But I guess you take what you get, essentially. I did think that Manchester City were pretty good for especially for obviously a friendly, but I do like that the youngsters they hung on, and essentially they saw the game out when Manchester City had most of the starters in the second half. Not most of it, but a lot of the starters in the second half, and I think that's a very positive sign by the youngsters, and that's what I think, though, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, you can rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. Peace out, and have a nice day.